Hello folks of YouTube, my name is Salemchevy and welcome back to this Minecraft world I have here on my PlayStation, which almost got corrupted a while back to tell you the truth, but luckily it didn't. But in this episode of what I'm going to be calling Into the Mind with Salemchevy, we're going to be dealing with a game that many of us probably was wanting to get or have pre-ordered right now, and that game is The Last of Us 2. Now, I'm here today to talk about the game itself, not so much the leaks, because if I do that, then I feel that Sony and Naughty Dog will come after this channel, take the video down, and give me a strike. And I do not want that, so I'm going to do my best to try and stay somewhat neutral and without bias. But before we dive in, make sure you like and subscribe for more content in the future. So to start with, we must talk about this game in general. Like, what is it? Like, what's the premise of it? Well, we all remember a long time ago, and I believe it was in 2013, one of the greatest games ever, and it was just an exclusive too, mind you, came out, and that was called The Last of Us. It was one of the greatest games, personally, I've ever played, and it showed on the other side with all the awards that that game had. And it does live up to its name. I would recommend anyone watching this play that game. But, under these new circumstances that has come out about its protege, I would recommend to not buy it, but instead protest it to show Naughty Dog that this is not what we want. Now, let's talk about these leaks, alright? Personally, I don't know a whole lot about the leaks. I know very little. I know that it's going to take place in Seattle for a part of the game. You play as Ellie, which is a good thing to see. You playing as one of the main characters from the last game. But how it goes is that you play as Ellie in the place where you left off in Jacksonville, and apparently there's this religious cult that's gone crazy, and they just started killing some of your people, so you get mad, you track down these people, and you would kill some of their people, just to even the score, which is kind of weird, I guess, but apparently it works. And then it takes you to Seattle, a long trip to Seattle. But halfway through that journey to Seattle, you come across this group again. And they catch you and all this other stuff. But before that happens, you actually come in contact with Joel, the main character that you play as, in the first game. Which is a very, very cool idea. I do appreciate that. So I was looking at these leaks and I was thinking, okay, that's not that bad. But then, on the other side of the spectrum, it said this about what happens, and I'm just quoting this the way that I see, as to not get a strike from Sony or Naughty Dog. But basically, this watered down version of what happens is that Joel, halfway through the game, gets killed by a trans with a golf club. And yes, it is a trans with a golf club. And then, a little bit of time after that happens, because Ellie sees that happen right in front of you, who you play as, the game then forces you to play as a girl, or whoever it is, that just killed Joel. Now, me personally, I don't know about you, I think that that's a terrible storytelling aspect of the game, because you're killing off one of the most important characters of your game that only has one game for it. And all that character development that we've seen in the first one, it just goes to waste. Because it just seems so weird just to kill him off halfway through with a golf club. Now that just seems so weird. Because, in the first game, we've seen one of the most saddest intros in a game ever made. And I think it still holds true today on all games that have been released now, where you see Joel's daughter get killed. And me personally, I think that it was Tommy's bullet that kind of went through that one soldier into her, but that's a theory for another day. Game theory. But back to talk about The Last of Us 2, I don't know how exactly to explain, talk about it, because it's so much of a disappointment if these leaks are true, and they do seem to be true, because PlayStation and Sony are taking heavy action against people who are talking about them. Like, for instance, on YouTube, they've been going after people kind of like me and you, then some other bigger YouTubers who be talking about this kind of stuff or show footage of these leaks, and they take down their videos and they give the channel a strike. Now, I can see whether that's acceptable, actually, and hear me out on this. If you show content of the leaks, like say whatever you show, like whatever the leaks are, and you show that, then technically I can see that being necessary for PlayStation to do, because that's illegal to do right now. The game hasn't been released. It's called a leak. But, on the other hand, if these people are just talking about the leaks, sorry, I disconnected my controller there, but no, as I was saying, if these people are talking about the leaks, then necessarily they should be fine. You shouldn't need to deal with those kinds of people that do that. But, I don't know about that. But now at the end of this video, I'm going to explain one point I feel like this game is going to have, and one of the main people that's keeping a lot of people from playing this game right now. But as of right now, there's a quote that I would like to read off right now. And it goes something like this, and I'm reading this as a quote. I'm not putting it up on the screen, so bear that in mind. No copyright, anything here. But as I quote, this is from Troy Baker in an Instagram Live Q&A. He's the voice actor of Joel. Oh, dude, it doesn't matter. Look, if you think the game could be ruined by a couple of screenshots, really? A studio with 30 plus years of development, with so many awards under their belt, they can't even put them all in one trophy case, said Baker. That this is the biggest, most ambitious game they've ever done. You really think that that experience can be undone by a couple of screenshots? Think 6 years of development can be undone by that? It's a game. It's a game. You have to experience it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, Troy Baker, I can see where you're coming from, but now in recent years we've seen downfalls of game companies like what you're saying, and it appears Naughty Dog is about to join that game company of shame Hall of Fame. And these examples are like Hello Games, who up until their one game came out, was unknown to me and probably you. And they're the people who made No Man's Sky, which was a major dumpster fire because we were lied to. Severely lied to. Every single one of us, and we paid $60 for that game. And then there was EA with the Battlefront 2 controversy. Personally, I don't like that game still because of that, because of the gambling aspects that they put into that game. That was terrible. Then there's Bethesda with Fallout 76. Everyone knows about that game. It was a glitchy, buggy McBuggerton's bug house. Everyone knows about that. But now it seems to me like Naughty Dog is going to join this Hall of Fame because of one thing I believe is going on. And that is something called Gamergate. Now, what is Gamergate? Well, it's something that took place around 5 years ago. I believe it was in 2014 or either 2015. But basically, what the premise of what happened is, and this takes place around a couple games that everyone can probably see why this would take place around. It takes place around Grand Theft Auto 5. And basically what it is Gamergate controversy is what it's been called. It's been put into history, actually. It was about harassment campaign conducted primarily through the use of the hashtag Gamergate. Now, what does this mean? Well, the controversy centered its issues around sexism and progressivism in a video game culture. So basically, if you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, what they were talking about is you can play as one of the dude characters. You know, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. You can subdue a hooker, pay her money, then you can kill her, get your money back, or run her over. And, I mean, I guess I see where that's coming from, but these are women, and this is literally who's doing this, women who are saying that there's more middle-aged women playing games, and this was back in 2015, playing games than teenage boys. Now, I'm not the smartest person, but I think that those numbers are stupid, made up, wrong, unhelpful, lying, worthlessness. And I made up so many words there because that's how you had to treat this thing. Because then, this lady, and I'm not even going to talk about her, but her name starts with A, Annette. I'll say her first name because I don't know how to say her last name. It's a weird Canadian name, I think. But anyway, people got mad at her which understandably is so. She got on Twitter, was saying all this and that, but she was acting like a victim. And then another case is that she kind of was, maybe. Because there are some people sending her death threats, rape threats, gonna shoot up her family, her house threats. Now those kinds of people, that's unacceptable. Now people saying like, why would you do that? I wouldn't vote for you and all this other kind of stuff. Now that's unacceptable, but shooting someone, that's unacceptable. But what she was doing was getting wind by major game development companies, and they're thinking, well, geez, if this is what the people want, then we probably need to put this in. Put it into a game that doesn't really have choice. You see, this is what I always do like about Grand Theft Auto 5, is the ability of choice. And what is choice in my definition? Well, choice, for this case, is a choice to do that or not do that. See, what she was talking about with the hooker is that you have a choice to do that or not do that. Like basically pay her off, do whatever, and kill her. You have a choice to do all of that. If the game didn't have that, then the game would be kind of narrowed and biased to what the developers think of politically. And I mean politically correct. So, what does that mean with this game? Well, there's a rumor going around that this Annette lady has been seen on the development of this game. Not exactly on the development team, but on the story, which I think is untrue, because, Reddit sometimes is wrong. But I don't know about that anymore. And truthfully, with what's going on now with this stuff, I recommend everybody just wait. Don't pre-order. If you pre-order this game, cancel your pre-order. Just wait a week or so after this game launches. Look up videos, look up reviews. One good person to review from is Angry Joe. He's very popular on YouTube. Watch their reviews and see what they say about this game, and then you choose if you want to get this game or not. Because I think right now it's a waste of $60 and probably a waste of $120 if they do a season pass. I don't know. But thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, let me know down in the comments below. I'll try and do more videos like this because I kind of do enjoy doing this. But it's something that I think I would want to put on a second channel. Maybe called Salem News or In the Mod with Salem or something. I don't know. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.